We're going to turn now to our next guests who have been working tirelessly to be change makers. They're working to break the stigma around mental health and make it more inclusive for all of us, especially those who don't see themselves represented in mainstream wellness culture.
So they created a self-care app called Shine, which now has over 4 million users across 189 countries and was just named one of Apple's top apps of 2020. Please welcome the founders and CEOs of Shine, Marah, Lidey, and Naomi Hirabayashi. Thank you both for being with us. And we've been commenting, we've seen you up here as we were getting ready to come to you, smiling, laughing. You look like the best of friends, which is so inspiring to see. But tell us how you two met and created this app together.
Well, thank you so much for having us, and we do have a good time together, which makes everything a lot easier and more fun. We started Shine on a mission to navigating your mental health, just more inclusive, as you said. And we did that because we didn't see ourselves represented in this idea of wellness. From meditation apps to the wellness websites, it felt like living a mentally healthy or well life had to be, you know, green juicing every day and doing yoga in the forest and this very one-dimensional of wellness. And for us as women and women of color, people that, you know, our past traumas, our socioeconomic backgrounds, just like everyone, the intersectionality of who we are affects how we deal with our day-to-day stress and anxieties. And we found that that was not only true for us and that we weren't the only people lacking that representation, but just across the board. When we look at the wider industry, we know, for example, Black Americans are 20% more likely to experience psychological distress. But even just a few years ago, only 5% of psychologists were Black. And the same is true pretty much across the board for LGBTQIA representation, Latin American representation, Asian American representation, and so on. So we just wanted everybody to be able to see themselves represented in their mental health experience.
But you also talk about the self-stigma. It's not just a matter of thinking of what somebody else might think of me, this isn't okay. We have to get over it ourselves. What do you mean by self-stigma?
Yeah, I think you said it so well. 2020 was really the year that everybody was struggling with something. So we view that as the year that broke the stigma around mental health. And to your point, there's two types of stigma. There's social stigma, what's the public perception of people struggling, but it all starts with us, right? What's the self-stigma? And self-stigma is that feeling that I think we can all relate to or know of, which is the feeling of shame, or insecurity or isolation that comes from what you're experiencing and then how you're talking to yourself about what you're experiencing.
What do you find on your app that creates that routine for people to be able to come out of any darkness that they may be in?
So the core component of the Shine app that has been the same since we started is called the Daily Shine. And that's really, we call it a podcast meets meditation, but every day we are grounding ourselves in real world events. We're talking about what's happening in the world and we're giving you a meditation around that. So it's not this extrapolated, you know, meditation around anger or frustration, but you actually get to hear about some of the issues that are happening in the world, how those might be intersecting with how you're feeling and allowing yourself to ground in that.
What a great idea. Obviously, it's working really well. The Shine app available in the App Store. Marah and Naomi, thank you so much for bringing this to us today and shining a light on something we all need to work on and work on together.
Thank you so much for having us. Thank you.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.